never done a show all by myself before, and I wrote this one all by myself.
How did it go?
It went. It definitely went. And you know what? A lot of people.
No, you've sullied the
Tom,
name.
A lot of people. It was a full house. It was 800 people, bums in seats. Harry tried to get in. They said you can't come in. It's full. Right? It was extraordinary, but there were some hiccups.
Jack, I'm ill. I don't even care. I'm actually ill. I'm genuinely.
No, great, thank you.
Do you know this week, mate? My face decided it was going to attack me. My wisdom tooth, protruded through my gums, and my whole face inflamed. I've been walking around like a balloon, and I'm snotty and feverish now. Stop! I'm talking.
Shut up! Shut up! I'm talking. Shut up! Shut up! I'm talking. Shut up! Shut up! I'm talking. Shut up!
It was maybe the best intro we've ever done.
That was really good, wasn't it?
So good.
There's a lot of fire to that.
It felt real.
People who were listening on the bus or in public would have been worried about terror because of the amount of sudden fire that I brought to it. They would have gone, whoa, because of the loud noise I made just then.
Terror?
I'm ill.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Welcome to Shut Up, I'm Talking, episode 92. Almost at 100. We're getting close. Thank you for coming. You may notice we're a little different today. Tom's ill. And I'll get into this in a minute because it isn't actually my worst moment, shockingly. But I had a blood test. And you can tell I'm suffering from the injuries this caused.
It's not right today.
They tested my blood wrong.
Really?
But before I talk about that, because it isn't actually my worst moment of the week, I have a worst moment of the week to discuss with you, Tom.
Which, for any newer viewers that are starting on episode 91,
who, by the way, should subscribe and follow on Spotify and turn on notifications and rate 5 stars and subscribe on YouTube, as I said, and probably follow all our social media and new episodes every Sunday. Just in case you're new.
Wow. And thank you for that, Jack. And also, in case you're new, I'll be doing that now. Yeah. And also, in case you're new, we opened this podcast with this segment, right? And it's can't even be asked to explain.
It's the
no, I will though. But basically, it's like this worst stupid moment of the week. We just say stupid thing.
We say a stupid thing that happened to us in the last week that frustrated us, and I'm going to go first. Tom,
stupid.
As I said, obviously I was in. Actually, I said Amsterdam. I was in Rotterdam for TwitchCon.
Yeah.
But I went to Amsterdam for a day at the end to enjoy the great city, its great canals. I didn't even partake in. Oh no, you gonna blow your nose?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't even partake in the devil's lettuce because I was scared it would. No, you fibbed. Why would you fib to me? That wasn't funny at all.
Sorry,
that was rude, if anything.
It's all coming out.
I went to Amsterdam for a day at the end to enjoy the great city, its great canals. I didn't even partake in. Oh no, you gonna blow your nose?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't even partake in the devil's lettuce because I was scared it would. No, you fibbed. Why would you fib to me? That wasn't funny at all.
Sorry,
that was rude, if anything.
It's all coming out.
It broke my comedic flow. Now, look, because I was going to say I didn't smoke any weed in Amsterdam, like the one thing that every British person goes there to do, because I knew I was having this blood test and I was scared the doctor would report me to the police. Anyway, so because I'm looking to see if there's anything wrong with my blood, and if it comes back on the test and they just say there's weed in it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, sorry. It might throw off the test, I don't know. So anyway. I'm really focused on this blood test. I don't like them. But I went to Amsterdam. And obviously, to get to Amsterdam, you must get there. I chose to fly. So I flew to Amsterdam. Was a little delayed getting there, but was super delayed getting back. My flight was delayed by 2 hours. I'm just sat in Schiphol airport for hours, and it's shit. It's shit airport.
For 2 hours?
More, because I got there 3 hours early for the original time, and then it was delayed by 2 hours. So I was there for like 5 hours.
Oh, Christ,
just sat in Shitpol Airport, as I call it.
Schiphol Airport's a good airport.
Shitpol Airport. It's always either queuing out the door for security because it's so busy, or a ghost town empty, and somehow the flight's still delayed. I hate it. Right? Anyway, but I thought there's one redeeming factor. I've got 5 hours to kill, and I saw that they had these all around the airport. They've got these lovely massage chairs.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Right? No one's ever using them. And I was like, in China, they had these. And they're like 50p a go. And you put your arms in them, they squeeze your arms. And it was really quite revitalizing. Every night in our hotel in Chongqing, I'd go down and get a massage. It's like 50p, why not? Right? I get to Schiphol Airport and I'm like, okay. I'm expecting the price to be higher than like 50p or whatever it was in China. I go to the massage chair, €4 flipping. €4.
It's like £6, isn't it?
No. What? No, it was like £3.
Oh.
But still, I was like, €4 fucking. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I'm like, got nothing else to do. I'm bored. I fancy a massage. I'm gonna sit down in the chair. Sit down in the chair. Sit in. I tap. I have contactless. I tap. The chair tilts back. Right. I tilt back, and there's a screen in the roof of like this.
This is like in public in the
Yeah,
airport.
it's like in public in the airport. There's like a dome, and I'm like in it, looking at this screen, and it starts playing relaxing music and just a slideshow of relaxing images, but they were just sort of like they looked like wallpapers from like Windows XP. Like they just weren't great, and it's massaging me, but like it's just. Unlike China, where it was like slow, it was just going and it was like vibrating me. So I'm just in this chair going, just shaking like this in the middle of an airport. A little girl comes and just stands next to me and watches. I can't tell her to go away. I don't know what to do. She just stood like fascinated by this thing. It's rubbing me. And I'll be honest, Tom. At points, it starts rubbing the back of my head, and my head's going like this. I'm like, this is just not comfortable, right? Awful thing. Everyone's watching me, right? My friends start filming
By
me.
everyone, do you mean this one girl?
No. Like people are looking at me in the airport. The girl's watching intently. Everyone else is just watching as they go by. I'm the only person who's dared use the massage chairs in the airport, right? And it gives you 8 minutes. 2 minutes in, I'm like, I really don't want to be here. But I'm enjoying my copyright-free relaxing music and my slideshow. And I'm there being vibrated. All right, I'm probably wincing a bit because it's not comfortable. And imagine this, I'm there wincing, looking at the ceiling. The video is obviously really old and they've not updated it in years. It just, even though I had longer time and I'd already put the money in, it just randomly right at the end, just in black screen, white text, Arial font fades in, please insert 2 more euros. I'm just like trying to relax and I'm being shook about and it goes, please insert €2. And I'm like, no.
Did you have to?
No, I just ignored it and it carried on because the video wasn't linked to the chair. Oh, and then the video ended and it said file unsupported. It was just like so shoddily like cobbled together.
Oh, shit
It just
ball.
rubbed me, and I got off. I got off 6 minutes in. I had 2 minutes left, but my gate opened. I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah.
Right, and then my neck hurt. Like I was just in pain. It made me so tense.
How were you then on the plane? Was it achy or?
It was a bit achy, but I'll be honest, it was a 40-minute flight. I got over it.
Oh yeah.
I was a bit pissed off because I said to the lady, I went, I'd love to order the lasagna. She went, takes 20 minutes to heat up. So that's fine. It's like, be landing in 30. You'll be eating it while you land. You can't do that. You can't have the tray. So I went, all right, what can I have? She went, Itsu pot noodle. So I ended up having an Itsu pot noodle instead. And even that didn't get to me before they made me close the tray. I just had to stand there holding it, eating it like this, trying to sip the broth from this Itsu pot noodle while we're landing in this turbulence because there's a storm over Gatwick. So I'm going like this, trying to drink fucking noodle broth.
Hang on, is it only 40 minutes between here and Amsterdam?
Usually it's an hour. But
Is it only an hour? We should just go.
they
man.
went, no, because the airport's shit. Get the Eurostar. My God. I
All right,
hated it.
Okay. Well, look, Jack, I've had quite the worst moment. All right.
All right.
You might think that's me saying you're done now. It's my go.
That was what I thought.
It was me saying it in a sly way, but now I've announced it. I always do this. Why do I always have to announce everything I've done?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's a problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
what I did was, I've had a lot of bad things happen to me lately, Jack. My tooth came through. I got a fever. And that was it, really. But this was the worst one.
Actually, a baby. Actually, baby. My life is so hard. I'm teething and I'm sick. Like an actual man-child.
Not a baby. I'm a fucking bloke. Right. I get up yesterday at 8 a.m. Right. I've been pinging awake really early. I've been jet lagged. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I've been fucking jet lagged to fuck. I ping awake for some reason. I've just been pinging awake at 6 a.m. I don't even know why. Anyway, I can't have any breakfast now. Breakfast is banned in my house.
What?
Don't have no kitchen anymore. They've took my kitchen. Someone's
Why
took
don't
my
you go, like,
kitchen.
coffee shop?
Well, what I did was I went Co-op Bakery. I went in there. They hadn't even bloody done it yet. I went in so early. I had to stand there and say, can I have one? They said, just wait. So I had to wait for the croissant. Piping hot came out. It was bloody beautiful. Then I had one of those naked green smoothies because I've been having a pan of chocolate and a smoothie because I figured they contrast each other because one is healthy and one's not. Anyway, finally, I go to the car. It's pissing it down with rain.
Drive
at this
now,
point.
Cooper Leon.
Yeah, I'm going to drive round to my dad's for some more breakfast, right? Because he has a
Didn't even need to go to the co-op.
because he has a kitchen, right?
Right.
I get there. I'm about to get in my car. And I turn around and I see shivering, alone, in the rain, hiding behind...
Hiding, I believe is the word.
Yes, thank you. In this little area where I can't park my car. It's a little secluded area.
Yeah.
Also, don't include this.
It's called a car park, by the way.
Yeah. And it hiding in this little area, shivering behind the thing, is a baby fox all alone in the pouring down rain. I look at him, I think, oh, poor fella, survival of the fittest and all that. But then I think, no, I can do something here. He's a baby. And I go over to him, I go, "You all right, mate?" Obviously, he's a fox, you don't understand me. But I try and go up, and he skitters about, but he's pinned in this corner because it's so rainy. He's so scared and he's afraid. And then I see his back leg is holding up in the air. I'm horrified, and I go, "Oh my God, he's got a bad leg." So I go back to my car. I type in "how to help baby fox minus AI." I go on.
Gotta add the minus AI.
Yeah,
Gotta make sure the viewers know.
I'm not going on Gemini. All right, fine. It was in the rain. I was stressed. I didn't type minus AI. But, okay. No,
I forgot.
It was an emergency. I type, what to feed baby fox? It says, feed it dog food. I go, I don't have dog food. It says, feed it other stuff. I go, all right, I'm going to go get it some chicken. It likes chicken. I go, wait here, mate. Again, he doesn't understand me. I go to the back to the shops. I get some of that. And this is the fancy £4 fucking roast chicken that I usually put in a sandwich if I've been good. But I haven't even got that, and I don't have a kitchen, and it's for a fox. So I'm pissed off anyway. Anyway, I go back to the fox. I try giving it. It runs around the car park. I go, no, stop running. I'm lobbing chicken at it. Well, not. And anyway, I tear it into a little bit. I throw it, and it goes, and it eats it. And I go, oh, mate, do you want to come home with me? We can be best friends, little fox.
Can't domesticate foxes. Bad.
Watch me. And then I give it a bit, and I go, oh my God, but I can see it's alone. It's not with its family. It's in the pouring rain. I'm freaking out. So I ring the RSPCA, 7 a.m. I say, RSPCA. They go, is it an emergency? I go, fuck, yes, it is. Is an animal you own neglected? Yes, it is. In a way, I own this animal now, spiritually. I go, what do I do? They go, yeah, you've given it food, you've cared for it, but you have to. And they go, look, do you really want to do your best? I go, of course I do. At this point, the fox has scurried off and I can't find it anymore. I'm so stressed it's been killed. Also, at one point, it was hiding under my car. I was well stressed I was going to run it over. Anyway, they go, what you have to do now, mate, you've established a feeding pattern. I go, no, I haven't. I've just given it the one. He goes, would you want to do your best? I go, of course I want to do my best. He goes, return here the same time tomorrow and give it food. I go, but it's 7 a.m. I don't want to return the same time tomorrow. They go, well, you've established a feeding ritual now. I go, no, I haven't. They go, do you want to do your best? I go, yeah. They go, well, then do that. I go, fuck. So guess what, Jack?
Yeah.
Today rolls around.
Yeah.
7 a.m. my alarm goes off. I think, oh, it was 6:50.
Gotta go feed the fox.
I go, I don't want, because the car park isn't too near mine. I go, oh, I don't want to go feed the fox. And then I remember I have to, because I've established a feeding ritual. So I go and I get the chicken, another £4. At this point now, this is 2 days back to back that I've gone into the shop, bought a full bit of raw chicken at 7 a.m. or cooked chicken. Everyone's going to think I'm a fucking nutter going around just eating chicken all the time at 7 a.m. It's fucking weird.
Well, you should buy cheaper chicken.
Anyway, no, it's marked up. Also, it's for this precious fox.
£4 a day is too much.
I know, this is going to be, what's that times 7? 21 quid a week. Then what's that times 4?
£84
let me
month.
do it. £84. Then you times that by 306. No, times that by 12.
Yep.
84 times 12. What's 8 times 12? 80, 96, £9,600 I'm going to spend on this fucking fox over the year. That's how much I'm going to spend on it, Jack.
So
this
close.
fucking fox, right? So anyway, I go and I give it the thing. I show up this morning ready to give it some meat, and the fucker's not there.
Oh.
He's not there, and it's 7 a.m. And I thought we've established a ritual. And he's not even there. So I lob down the chicken. I go, this is bullshit. And I'm really mad. And I come home and it's 7 a.m. And then it turns out I don't have any hot water. So I sit and I watch Tropic Thunder in a strop. and now I've been stroppy all morning. And I've been in the pouring rain giving chicken to a fox that isn't there. And I'm just sus about now. And I've got a cold and my tooth is only just about stopping hurting. And I'm pissed off, Jack. Stupid baby fox.
You showed up today like, I haven't slept much, so I'm in a bad mood, and I thought you had a good reason. It's genuinely because you tried to feed a fox.
I had to. I established a feeding ritual.
Clearly not.
Clearly not, because the stupid fox don't even like me.
I know someone who feeds a fox on their back garden because it's mangy. It has mangism. All its fur on its tail's gone. So they go to the vet and they buy the medicine for that, and then they put the medicine in jam donuts and chuck them onto the back garden. The fox eats the jam donuts.
You're not meant to be giving it jam donuts. I've been Googling. You meant to be giving it
You
chicken.
did not Google that
£4
whether or not you
chicken.
give it jam donuts.
£4 chicken you meant to give it. If you really like it.
I don't know if you are supposed to give them jam donuts, to be fair, but
You're not. I'm telling you, you're not. You're meant to give it raw
likes
unsalted
the jam
nuts.
donuts though.
Of course it does. Everyone likes jam donuts.
There
It's not
are-
soulless.
Do you feel like foxes are more common at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, well, evidently.
No, but I'm, this is sort of for the audience as well. I feel like I keep seeing so many foxes.
So how on earth is this for the audience? They don't live in Brighton.
I around the country.
Around, you'd think on a general foxes. Anyway,
I think the mangy, the thing that makes them mangy, and that usually makes them more confident and stuff because they go a bit like stupid in their brains. I think that's gotten more infectious or
I
something.
don't know.
And it's going around. That's why we're seeing more foxes. I have a theory.
Well, guys, so thank God
I have
Jack's
a
got a
fox
theory. Well, anyway, I got stood up this morning. Not even 8 a.m. and I've been stood up, so I'm in a bad mood. That's my worst moment.
Well,
Neither of us have had very high stakes worst
I
moments
feel
this
like
week.
mine wasn't worse, but what I'm going to talk about now could be worse. TwitchCon. TwitchCon was good. TwitchCon was good. Can I just say this is probably one of the best TwitchCons I've done. I did, as some of you will know, some of you may have been there. I did the Shut Up I'm Talking live show, but by myself. You weren't able to
I
go
was
to TwitchCon.
travelling.
You're traveling, so I
Couldn't get out of it.
What?
I couldn't get out of travelling.
You actually were home in your house,
Yeah, I got home earlier than I thought I was.
but it's fine.
But also, I had a horrible toothache and I had a fox I had to care for.
Right. So anyway, I did the show. I wrote the show without Tom. We filmed these videos, so it looked like he was calling in. Many people were fooled. I asked them when they came to my meet and greet afterwards. I went, "Did you know he wasn't
Were
really
you
call-"
fooled?
Yeah, I kept going, "Hey, be honest with me. Was it obviously he wasn't really calling in?" And they all said yes. They went, "The big teleprompter that had your lines on it was the big giveaway."
Oh, it was obvious, so I won't call it in.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They
I'm
said-
crankling that bottle.
So they said it was real obvious on account of the big teleprompter near all the cameras for me to read my lines.
Fucking hell.
But anyway, so I wrote this script. It was unscripted. We had guests on, but there were scripted bits where Tom called in and it set up the next segment and stuff because I wanted Tom to be part of the show. Shut Up I'm
you.
Talking's me and you at the end of the day.
Thanks,
So
Jack.
I
Your
wrote a
kindness
show. for
knows
both
no
of us.
bounds.
But I'd never written a show myself. You'd always written the shows we'd done when we've been on tour and stuff.
True.
So it's the first time I'd ever written.
With help, for the record.
Yeah, sure, but it had been your thing, and I wrote this with help. But I wrote this, it was my job, and I did it. And I wrote the show, and I practiced it, and I all with help, but I set it all up, and I was when I got to the stage, realizing I wasn't going up by myself because there was guests, but I was going up by myself for the start, for the first like half an hour. I was thinking, shit, never done this before. It's always been with you every time. I've never been on stage without you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I've been on stage by myself for a segment,
Man.
but it's always a show me and you have done, and like you're there virtually this time, sure, but like you're not there. I was like, fuck.
Your heart must have been breaking.
No, but I was nervous. And I cared a lot because I'd written it and I cared more about what people think. When you write it, I care less because I think, well, I didn't write it, so if it's bad, it's his fault. So, I went up thinking, if this is bad, it's my fault. No one else can be to blame. No one else can be
true.
blamed for the if this show is shit. Went up. I did it. And I'm glad to report that it was viewed highly on Twitch. The room filled out at the meet and greet. Everyone told me they loved it. But I noticed something about Dutch, and maybe this is Dutch crowds, or maybe the comments are going to tell me that Dutch crowds aren't like this, and I just put on a bad show. Very quiet. Our shows traditionally have been the audience are very loud. They're very involved.
It's true.
And the podcast, even we found podcast shows are a little bit less. Even our own podcast show, when we first got in, remember we did that bit where they were supposed to applaud and no one did.
Oh, yeah.
Like it does, podcast shows do that. People don't know. I think they're new and people don't know quite what the etiquette is
That's
yet.
riled up.
So that was a factor. But once we established that cheering was allowed, it was still took a little bit of work that did the Dutch. Took a little bit of work. It was a bit where I had Salmon Boy come out to dance on stage as the worm.
Yep.
As we did Harry in the first show. And Salmon Boy came out and danced, and he did one move, and they all loved it. And he moved on to his second move, and by that point, it's like, we are done now. No one cheered for the second or third move. They were done. They were satisfied with the first and had wished that it had promptly ended, but it didn't. It went on for a minute more at least, and it was. I loved it, but I'm not used to it. I don't think, it was that feeling of, did I die on stage? I don't think so. I don't
think you did.
I think I swam, but like maybe I doggy paddled. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like
You can watch the VOD and the crowd aren't silent, but they're just quiet.
but maybe that's nice. Maybe we need a bit more quiet in our life.
Maybe that's the
we're,
Dutch
we're
way.
very loud, we could learn a bit more from the Dutch.
This was the other
They're
thing.
a relaxed people.
I did the worst moment of the week segment. Again, we did it in our first live show where we got the crowd to scan a QR code and they send in the worst moments of the week. And then we go through them and like chat to the people in the audience. It's really fun. Did it at TwitchCon. First one, it pops up on the screen. I read the worst moment. I go, oh, wow. Who's that? Stand up. Show, tell me what's going on. And we had microphones and cameras to go out into the audience and like pick out the people. It was like, like proper production. No one puts their hand up for the first one. I think, there's always a shy one. All right, do the next one. No one stands up again. And I start getting a bit panicked because I realised at that point I'd given about 15 minutes of the show to this segment, and so far no one was biting. And I was like, I don't have a backup plan. I did not consider the angle where no one wants to talk to me. It didn't happen at the first show. Happened. Yeah, I got to the third one and I just managed. They were sat right at the back and we just managed to spot them. And we got the segment rolling, but felt like jump starting a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
There was that moment. I read the Twitch chat. If you that segment is like everyone is like the crowd needs to help him.
Well,
but you know what? It was. I'm making it sound like it was a shit show. It was really fun. The guests were great. The crowd did really genuinely love it. We got big laughs. People loved the segment between me and you, even though it was pre-recorded. It actually went well. It filled out so much that they were turning people down at the flipping door.
Oh wow!
So like.
Just Harry, actually.
Harry's the only one that told me on account of he's the only person that could. No, most viewers can't get in touch with me and go, they didn't let me in.
Most.
So,
Jack, and I have some good news for you though. Not all of our fans are bad, right? Because we've got something beautiful. Mirren, please can you get the thing?
Oh, there's a thing.
We've made something beautiful, all right? And something that is going to make your heart happy. It's going to make your soul
How
soar.
we came into this?
Check this out, Jack.
We've got a box.
Let me...
Oh, wow!
Someone has built the set. Someone has built our set.
Wow! Wait, show me.
In a miniature way.
Tell me
hang on,
what-
I haven't had a proper look at it yet.
All right, you look first.
Wow. Be very careful with it now, Jack, okay?
Well, I wasn't
Be very
planning on breaking
delicate.
it.
And remember, we could get... oh my God, they even got like the tape coming with the... Wow, it's very accurate.
Oh my God, yeah, they even... Oh my God, it's so accurate.
It's unnervingly accurate, actually. Sorry, now I hadn't truly
Have they
inspected.
been here?
No, his name's Dan.
How does Dan know where our wires go?
Yeah, actually, once I didn't notice that the camera wires were...
He's got
hang on.
the tape
Hang on.
that goes-
Let me have a look at this fucking... Hang on, I didn't realise that... Yeah, he's got the wires down.
Can you see those on
Oh my
camera?
God, he's got the plug.
Some of the Jacktivities as well, you can see.
Oh my God, he's got the plug and he's got one of the switches on one. He knows where all the plugs are.
This is weird.
This fella's going to fuck us up, actually. Sorry.
Can I look again? Sorry.
The little box you can open.
Oh, there's a little Amazon box in there I'm going to open. Sorry, everyone.
Keep...
I'm opening this box. I'm not good at opening stuff.
Everything is so accurate. That is
my God.
incredible.
For audio listeners, this is a small, incredibly accurate diorama of the office of the set.
Of the set, yeah. It is like...
I'm opening this Amazon parcel.
It's almost freaky how accurate it is.
Actually, it's actually
There's even the label on the Amazon box.
label
is-
mini room plus worm. Oh, I was opening it the wrong way. That's why I can't. Oh my God! It's the room again, but minier.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They've done a tiny miniature version of the miniature room. So assuming we put the miniature in the set somewhere,
Oh,
we can put the
and look,
miniature
Jack,
in the miniature set.
And look, Jack, there's the worm.
Miniature worm. How's the miniature worm doing? I know we don't usually do this at this segment, but wow.
Okay, that is awesome. Right, we probably need to keep it rolling on account of that. All the people listening to this will be like, okay, this is lovely, but we can't see it. That is
I'm
awesome.
just going to put that there for now. I'll move the
Wow.
mug. Can't believe I'm doing that, but I will.
Hey, this is something that I didn't like. Not that. I liked that.
No, that was incredible.
This is something that I didn't like that happened.
What?
I was in the park, yeah, and you
Yeah.
must remember I'm ill. And I was walking around the park, and there were these 3 boys. And they were boys, you know. They were boys, little boys.
How old do you say these boys are?
13, 14.
Okay.
And one of them shouted at me, "Tommy, in it!" I looked at them and like that, because I'm ill. And then I was walking through the park. Remember, the park's my safe space. It's not my unsafe space, my safe space. And one of them just shouts at me, "Tommy, in it, you're Leng."
Yeah, that's odd.
I didn't.
That would bother me.
It bothered me, Jack. And you know it takes a lot to bother me. I'm typically unbothered.
That's not true. But
I am. I'm very unbothered.
if I just say bumhole, you'll squirm a bit.
No, I'm not. Look.
All right, finger in a bumhole. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but fuck. Okay, but I'm
Continue.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Oh yeah, God, that could be in June of all months, Tommy. In it.
I just, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Whatever tickles you. Oh no, I'm thinking. It's just I don't. Please don't do it to me. That's all I want.
So you were called Lang by this 13-year-old.
I didn't know what to do.
I don't know. I'd just ignore it. I'd walk away.
That's what I guess that's what I did actually. But I did. It took me aback, and you got to remember I was in my safe space, so suddenly it was feeling very dangerous.
That is horrible. I've not had that. I had something similar kind of go on.
Because it's horrible, isn't it? Who can I report to? Who do I ring up? You know,
They don't have a helpline for us adults.
They don't, do they? It never happens to us, but it did. You know, oh, the Minecraft YouTuber. No, actually, for me, I'm such a
You
good
were
one.
harassed by them.
This is the status quo is turning. And I did not know what
I
to
don't
do.
know who you report that to.
What do I do?
I think if you went to the police, they'd laugh, and that is a flaw in our society.
It completely is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I had something similar happen in Amsterdam.
There's something similar to that.
That reminded me of it. Not similar to that. I wasn't a child, and no one called
Hang
me
on,
Lang.
it wasn't too similar, was it?
But the idea of someone saying something to me in a safe environment that threw
Oh,
me
yeah.
off.
Okay.
I went to my hotel in Amsterdam to check in. As I say, I went there for a day after TwitchCon just to enjoy the great city. Why are you drinking so weird?
Okay, I'm so sorry, but these water bottles, right? We used to have these. I'm so sorry. We used to have these different water bottles on the podcast, and whenever I drank from them, they were fine. And these, you have these flaccid water bottles that literally give in whenever you
You're
try
gonna
and
pour
drink
water
them.
on the mic. Be careful.
Whenever you try and drink them, they actually give in,
You're nearly
Jack.
pouring water.
And
Please
now,
don't stress
every
me out.
single time I drink, it makes the biggest crackling noise. And guess what, Jack? We didn't order 1 or 2 of these. We batched ordered 100. So now we have 100 of the shittiest water. So
They are bad.
every time we film, I'm just trying to get through them as much as we can. And it's horrendous, Jack. So our great old water bottles that made no sound whenever you were talking. Because I'm not going to drink when I'm talking, am I? Then I can't talk. So I try and drink whenever you talk. And now whenever you tell an anecdote, you hear, oh!
Right, and we're back, everybody. Tom,
sorry about that, everyone.
Tom spilt water all over himself and his microphone, and almost the miniature. Crisis was averted.
Well, my topics are all very wet.
Maybe we'll edit in clips of the disaster as
I am just going to have to take off my trousers a little bit, but then just cover it with the. No, it's all right. It's all right.
just cover it with the towel.
Cover it with the towel. But I do look like I'm having a bit of a poo now. But I'm covering my crotch with the tea towel because now my crotch is going to get cold, Jack.
What, Tom? Just stop fucking with your crotch.
I'm not. I'm getting comfy. Is that
I was
right?
midway
Is that a
through the
crime?
story.
Is that a crime?
You have no right to be shouting like this with the disaster you've just called. Pipe down. Wind your neck in. That's what I was. Couldn't decide between those two. I've said both. Look, as I was saying, as viewers might remember, you were saying how you got harassed in a safe space. Harassed is a horrible word, actually. In my instance, that's not the case. But I did have someone say something in a safe environment that shocked me. I went to my hotel in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I went to check in. And I went through the door, and I'm doing they had a digital check-in screen. I'm on the screen. The hotel staff walked in, and this is exactly what he did. And I've never had anyone do this before. Check in, and he went, "That is Jack Manifold." And I didn't quite hear what he said at first, so I just didn't react because I didn't know it was towards me. And then I turned around, and he was saying hi, and he was very pleasant. But I've never had anyone. Usually people, which I don't know if this is better. People ask if it's me. This guy just firmly announced that it was, and he was right. And then
That's quite good.
he was, and then he came over to help me with the check-in, and then he went, "You just put your key here. It'll tell you your room in a second, but I believe it's like 577." And then it was. I'm like, thought
Oh, he knew.
He knew.
He knew Jack
he
Manifold was
checked in
coming.
the system prior, made sure Jack Manifold had the right room.
Was it a nice room?
It was. I got an upgrade.
Of course he did. Come on. That's my
That's
boy.
the beauty of the hotel staff.
Hey,
Knowing that is Jack
speaking of
Manifold.
these fucking...
I've got more, man. Don't you move on. I've got more TwitchCon
I'm
stories.
talking about TwitchCon. It was going to be about TwitchCon.
Oh, good. Continue.
Thank you. It was about when we were filming the live show stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You had to take me out to the beach because you wanted to film all those pre-recorded things.
Yeah,
And you made me take off all my clothes on the beach like a perverse director. And you made
No.
me, you did,
Made you
yeah,
wear-
you did.
I
And
made
made
you
me
wear your
sit-
Tommy in its swimsuit.
I didn't have it. No, yeah, which is
You
just
put on your
shorts,
swimsuit skin.
which is just shorts, and I was freezing because it was a cold
That was the
day.
humour of the shot.
It wasn't humorous for me, was it? It was torture. Everything I do for you,
Actors suffer.
everything I do for you is bad for me.
Actors must suffer
I,
for art.
look at. I go on the beach. You make me strip and take off my clothes. I film a podcast with you, and now everything's wet, and I look like I'm permanently having
Well,
a shit.
one, you did that. And
It was to demonstrate something to you. If you weren't here, if you were dead, if you had never been born, I'd never be wet right now.
I mean, that is possibly true.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just thinking about the fact that in all the clips that we posted this episode, from a certain point, you are just going to have your trousers around your ankles and people won't know why. Because people won't have the
I should
context.
just commit, shouldn't I? Right.
No, can people see your pants now, though?
What could people see?
Tea towel.
Okay, apparently it's fine.
You can take pictures if you want, man.
But
I'm too ill for this shit.
this isn't about the show, but this was very fun at TwitchCon. They really upped the security this year, right? And when you walked...
Or the photo of us as Lego.
Can I just fucking tell a story without you just showing me your wet pages?
All my pages.
Just get over it. You made yourself
The
wet.
colours bled through, and so no. Whatever.
Right. What's fun about it? Let's just start again. This is TwitchCon. This isn't a story about the show, but this TwitchCon was just going. They really ramped up the security this year, right? Because of. Will you fucking stop? You're pissing me off now. You're doing this shit on purpose, though. You're trying to get a rise out of me because you think it's a good clip. It's not a good clip. It's boring. Right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Right. So they upped the security this year at TwitchCon, right? So every time you went in through the building, you had to go in through a metal detector. There was a man who his job was, he was the metal detector man.
Yeah.
If you beeped, he had to search your bag. I liked him a lot. Because every time I'd approach him, I wore my backpack both days. Because one time I had to bring my laptop because I had to help with the setup of the show. The second day I IRL streamed, so I had my backpack for
Nice.
my IRL streaming kit. So every time I go through the detector, he'd see my bag and he'd go, "You're going to beep." He'd like threaten me with this, and I go, "Nah, I might not." And he's like, "You're gonna beep." I go through and it beeps. And he goes, "Ha ha!" He's like so excited. Like, 'cause I guess not everyone beeps. He's like, "Ha ha!" And he goes, "Let's look at your bag." And I open it and he goes, "Laptop, always bloody laptop," and then sends me on my way. It got to the point where I must have entered and exited the con maybe 4 times over the course of the weekend. And every time he would recognize my face. And one time I showed up without the backpack and he went, and he was like getting a stance ready for me. And I was like, "No backpack today. I don't think I'm going to beep." And he was like, "We will see." And then I didn't beep and he was like, "Hey!" He was excited when I didn't beep the second time. He was just, his energy was, every time I went through the thing, he just was like so excited for me to either beep or not beep. But he every time he'd see me, he'd be like, "Get
that's
ready."
wicked.
He made my TwitchCon. He was the best. If we could give maybe, here's a thought I've been having. Remember, like in primary school, you'd have Star of the Week.
Yeah.
If you're American, you won't have that. I don't know what equivalent you have. Sorry. It was a thing where every week, every class in the school would pick one student to be the star of the week, and that was the best kid. And then you had an assembly on a Friday where all the parents of those kids would come in and they would give them their sticker. That was it. That was the award. It was a sticker.
Jack. That could be a new segment. A new segment where every week we both agree on the star of the week. Someone who has helped us and been a star.
But the viewers don't know most of these people.
I know. We tell the story.
Okay.
This
Maybe.
week it's him.
We can think, audience, what do you think of the star of the week?
And then we get a little whiteboard and we put a star next to his name.
But
TwitchCon.
I would say star of TwitchCon, Star of the week for
And then people
Star
can collect stars and it can become like a competition.
It'd be good. But yeah, Star of the Weekend goes to Metal Detector Man from TwitchCon. But Star of this week, I'm going to say it, goes... I'm going to have to do 2 Stars of the Week this week. Sometimes you can do that. They did that in primary school.
Did they?
They did sometimes if they really couldn't decide.
Okay.
Or maybe if they were twins.
Oh, yeah.
Can't give it to one of them. I'm going to give my Star of the Week awards to 2 special Patreon members. Neko Sloan made a really, really cool compilation called Every Time Tommy and Jack Manifold Made Me Audibly Laugh for 20 minutes.
I watched that.
I watched it too. It's really good. I really like the fact that a lot of the clips were me.
Not low, about the other half with me.
That's generally how it goes. But I really like the half that were me. Made me feel proud.
That's so funny. I love the half that was me.
That's what I like about us. So we watched that. It was going to be a part of the show at TwitchCon, but then they ended up being able to broadcast me singing instead, so it didn't get used. So we apologise, but it was a very good compilation, and we encourage people to
You're
go
just
watch
going
it.
to play the
And
compilation.
make more. Well, yeah, we spoke to them about it. I don't want to get into the
You're just
going
going to play their video.
Well, we couldn't. Originally, we were told we couldn't play me singing Sweet Caroline because of copyright. So we asked them. We wanted something to replace that went out on broadcast, and it was such a good collection
It
of
was
funny
20
moments.
minutes long, though.
Yeah, we cut a good 3-minute section out.
I
and
bet it'd be mainly you, though, wouldn't
we
it?
reached out to them and we said, "Hey, we
Why
would
would
love
we need to ask them to use clips of us?
They edited it together. We thought it was only polite. We said, "Hey, could we use your edit, like a segment of your edit for the end of our show?" They said yes, but we didn't end up using it in the end. But I just wanted to say thank you. And then Stella27, we've got a miniature set, and we've got an even miniaturer set because someone made us out of flipping Lego. We don't have that though. It's just here. So shout out to Stella27 as well. You're our stars
Don't
of the
thank
week.
them though too much, because if we didn't have this photo of Lego, the wetness of it wouldn't have bled over onto all my future topics.
You can read them all fine. I can literally read them all.
Yeah, but it's a different aesthetic, isn't it?
You're in a horrible, horrible mood today. And
Because
it's not
I'm
fun.
ill, and I've told you.
It's not going to make for nice, relaxing listening. It's going to make for horrible, sort of grating listening for the viewers.
It's not going to be horrible and grating.
Imagine they've had a hard day
It's
at
gonna
work
be
and they
light.
try and listen to this. It's
What they're
going to
like is that they get to see every different side of us, and I don't hide who I am when I'm ill, and when I'm ill, I am bad.
Maybe.
But thank you for that Lego minifig. It's very cool, and thank
It
you
was
for
very
making
cool.
those clips of us too. I enjoyed the half that was me.
I enjoyed the half that was me. So collectively as a podcast,
we
we enjoyed it
as a
all.
whole. Do you guess what I saw before I went away?
What?
Oh man, I went on this big walk. I bought a National Trust membership recently.
You spoke about it.
I went on a walk. This wasn't a National Trust walk, but that spurred me on to go on more walks. as
Sure,
of late.
that makes sense.
And I went on this walk.
You were in such a sorry state. You're just sniffling with your trousers around your ankles. That's just sad to watch. Sorry, carry on. You went on a walk.
What am I doing, man? It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, you can't see my bollocks or anything, can you, on the camera? All right.
We'd censor them anyway. You got to be careful about that. Oh my God! I didn't even write this down in the topics. I uploaded a YouTube video and I left a pair of bollocks in it.
That's not right.
Harry, we did a video on Discord GIFs, and Harry sent me a GIF of a pair of testicles. And in the video, we forgot it. None of us, there were so many GIFs on screen at once, we couldn't see it on screen. Not me, not the editor, not Harry. We all watched it about 3 times. Not one of us spotted it. We uploaded it and it got taken down for nudity. We were so confused. Like, what the fuck? We wouldn't leave nudity in a video. We actually did. It was a ball sack.
Oh, Jack.
I've got a community guidelines warning on my YouTube account. I can't break it again,
Really?
or I won't be able to post for a week
Oh my God.
because I posted balls. It's a real
you can't
thing
be
I did.
posting balls.
I really, really didn't know. I was out having a barbecue at Tubbo's house. I was having the time of my life. I was genuinely so relaxed. My manager messaged me and was like, "Your video's gone." I was like, "Really?" I checked. It was gone. It was for balls. And I messaged him and went, "It was for balls. I left balls in the video."
Oh,
I might be the first YouTuber to accidentally leave balls in a video and get their video taken down.
That's no good.
That I might be the first that has ever happened to.
Well, I speak.
I used to make Minecraft content.
Well, I don't know what's happened to the two of us, man. Anyway, I was out on this walk and we were deep into it. I was with Freddie, Bill, and Erin.
Yeah.
And we were deep into this walk, and then I bang into this fucking end up into this sort of farm area. There's a load of beautiful alpacas and a donkey that comes up to
Alpacas
me.
around here.
Alpacas?
I didn't realise they lived around here.
They do in this gated community. right? And I see these alpacas, and I'm looking at them, and they're going, you know, doing their thing.
That was a really good noise.
Thank you.
Usually I'm the noise
was-
guy.
Like, well, I'm
Do it again.
I know. I've got stuff up my sleeve, Jack. You know.
Do it again. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah. But
It's Minecraft alpacas. That's what they do.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, and yeah, I was
Llamas.
watching at these alpacas, and then they're sort of these two alpacas start headbutting each other. I'm thinking, and they get really up in your face, like, and then they fucking get away, and then they go right up in your face, you know, fucking well. And they got a bit away, and it's like fucking these two alpacas whacking their heads into each other, and you're like, what the fuck? And they start fighting, and I was thinking, this isn't right. And then, Jack, one of the alpacas jumps on top of the other alpaca, and they start fucking in front of me.
Oh.
Yeah, but one of them keeps walking while they're fucking. I didn't even know you could do that. And one of them's walking, and the other one's going.
Well, they've got 4 legs in it. I feel like if we had 4 legs, we'd have a better chance.
That's what they're doing there. They're walking around, Jack. And I'm just watching it, thinking, this is not how I wanted my Sunday to go. I've been on a
That
beautiful walk. I'm nearly back at my Cupra.
I've never
and now-
watched animals have sex.
Oh, I've watched loads. I've watched pigeons have
What the
sex.
fuck?
I've watched.
You fucking weird. Don't say that.
No, I've been on the walk to school before and been mesmerised by pigeons. They're fucking going right at it. They're
Never seen it
mad.
on TV.
No, I've seen pigeons have sex. I've seen dogs hump.
I've seen dogs hump, but they're not often having sex. When I used to go around my barber's, I used to get my hair cut at my barber's house when I was a kid. It's cheaper.
Well, animals actually make
Isn't
me
it-
feel seen because when they have sex, they're like a second. Like it's
I
actually
don't know
amazing.
how to navigate this topic on the podcast.
It's actually amazing. Anyway, continue.
I don't know how to move past it either.
No, genuinely, they literally have like a second worth of sex, like these alpacas, and they, and then they're done. I was like, yes, brother.
I will just move on. So yeah, when we used to go to my barber's, we used to go to his house, and we used to take my dog, and his dog was there, and his dog would always hump my dog, but they were both boys. And I somehow, I don't.
Hey, that's all right, you know.
That is all right, but I mean, mechanically, I don't think. I like to think that my dog wasn't. It wasn't going up his bum. I don't think it was. I think.
your dog got bummed by
I don't think my dog got bummed. I think like it probably he was humping him, but it probably didn't go in. That was that. That's what I've always thought.
Jack.
But that little dog, he was like a gay little dog. He used to get a red rocket around my dog all the time.
Did you see his hard on?
Yeah.
Oh, it went in.
What?
It would have gone in.
No. I don't think it did. My dog wouldn't have liked that.
Your dog's from Mansfield.
It was raised with Mansfield values. No, that happened a lot. That's the only time I've ever seen dogs humping other dogs. Other than that, my aunt's dog sometimes humps me, but not in. I sort of just shove him off.
I think I've seen squirrels and cows
He's a
shagging.
really big dog. He's taller than me if he stands on his back legs. It's hard if he starts humping you. You don't know what to do.
That is terrifying.
It really isn't nice because he's bigger than he once. I don't know if I'll be able to tell this on the podcast. We might have to cut this. I'll have to ask permission. He once knocked my granddad over, pinned him down, and started humping him. My granddad couldn't get back up, and he was stuck on the garden for 10 minutes being humped by the dog because he didn't want to shout for help because he was embarrassed. Dog just pinned him down and humped him for 10 minutes. He just had to go in and pretend like nothing happened. He eventually confessed that the dog had humped him. Got violated by the dog. Dog properly knocked him down and humped him. Oh, I don't know if he'll he watches the podcast as well, so I don't know if he'll let me tell you that.
don't imagine he'll want that to be broadcasted to the public, but
He might. He's got a good sense of humour. He might know that it's funny enough.
please let us send him this clip.
I'll
of
send
us
him this
also-
clip. If we
of
can
us
get this
also-
clip edited, I can send it to my
also asking
granddad.
him if we can.
Because I don't want to do that to him unless I have his explicit permission.
Hey, can I just ask you a quick question?
You're a dolphin. You became a dolphin. What the fuck happened?
become
What
a
did animal
dolphin.
sounds say?
I
Alpacas,
didn't
dolphins.
become a dolphin. I asked you. Can I ask you a question?
Can I
no,
ask you a
I
question?
didn't. No, I didn't. Do I cough wrong?
If the was, then yes.
No. My mate was like, "Oh no, all of the egg gets under here," and I was like, "What?" Because I was taught in school, don't cough into your hands because then you spread the germs on everything.
That's true.
So now I've been coughing into my arm. Apparently,
What does he suggest?
they.
Oh, my fault. I thought you said he.
I didn't, Jack. You
Oh.
assumed he.
thought that's what I heard you say. I just
No, you
misheard.
assumed it.
No. I really did just hear you wrong. I'm just not very good at hearing. I didn't hear the guy when he said that is Jack Manifold. I mean,
Yeah, all right. Okay,
I'm just not
fair
great at the stuff.
enough. What was your question?
It was what did they say you should do instead?
She, actually.
You're a prick,
It
man.
wasn't a they, it was a she. Wasn't, so, yeah.
You're doing my head in, man.
I'm doing your editing. I haven't got no trousers.
That's your own fault.
I was trying to demonstrate something for you, man.
It wasn't needed. I was telling you actively not to do it.
Well,
Anyway,
what?
what was she telling you to do?
Like, you didn't give me any critiques. You just said, and she didn't give me any constructive criticism. It was just criticism. You're doing it wrong.
It doesn't sound like she's a good influence. She's giving you just harsh, baseless criticism without any constructiveness to it. It's not a good friend, Tom. Whoever this lady is, you shouldn't be her friend.
Mirren. It won't Mirren.
Is it not Mirren?
Jack, I believe it's your turn for a topic, but I can go if you don't want to.
It's a really weird transition.
I'm a well of entertainment and knowledge.
I went on the train the other day just to prove I'm a man of the people. Usually I get chauffeured cars, but not today. Anyway, that's a joke. Obviously, I can't afford that sort of thing. But Jesus Christ, man.
We've already gone over this.
I was on the train and I was just about to go in through the barrier, and this lad in like a puffer jacket, you know, classic roadman attire, went up to the gate, and there was a guy working it. He went, boss, the more I bump, the more you get in trouble. And he was like, what? The guy, like, his English was incredible. The guy working the thing, and he was like, what? And he was like, the more I bump train, the more do you get in more trouble. And then I was like, what? He's like, if I go past this barrier right now and I don't pay, do they tell you off? And he's like, no. And he's like, fine. And then he jumped the barrier and set all the alarms off. I only know this because I went through at this point, but I got on the train and saw him there, and I said to him, did you bump train then? And he went, yeah. I was like, good on you for asking, though.
That is very polite.
Yeah, I thought it was the politest criminal act I've ever seen. Like, it was like a real Robin Hood sort of crime. It was like, hey, I'm only willing to steal from the man up top, big train. If it falls on you, working class man, I shall pay my fare. Like, I thought for like, this kid was like 14, 15. I thought, fair play to you for
He's got
being
good morals.
so socially aware.
That's
I thought
great.
it was beautiful. I liked that. That's the sort of crime I can get behind.
I like that too.
And then, to prove I'm even more a man of the people.
I just remembered about the dog. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, that's not going to make any sense.
That's the sort of crime I can't get behind.
No, that was wrong. That dog I suggested putting him down, but
What's the dog doing now?
it's just causing more havoc, I think. Every time I see that dog, I'm going to say something, and my aunt's going to be really sad because she's going to see this. I don't particularly like her dog that much.
What's he called?
His name is Bruno, and he's too much. One time I went round to watch the boxing, I had a blanket on me because it was winter, and he just kept pulling it off. I kept hanging on to it, he kept ripping this blanket, tearing it to shreds, and he kept trying to get on me and hump me, and I kept shoving him off, and he's a big, heavy dog. Like, he's a huge dog. I'm pushing him, and he just keeps coming back. I'm like, I'm genuinely going to fight this dog. That's how I felt in that moment. I was getting so frustrated because I'm trying to watch TV, and he keeps coming over and going, like, trying to hump my head. And I'm like, actually so sick of it. I keep shoving him off because he's big. Like, you have to give him a good push. He's like 2, but he's massive, and you have to give him a big push. And I'm like pushing. I'm like, obviously not going to hurt a dog, so I'm like pushing him and going no, and he won't listen. And I'm like, I genuinely got to the point where I was so angry. I was like, I've never wanted, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I wanted to hit that. I wanted to punch that dog. I actually was so angry. I obviously wouldn't do it, but like in my soul, you know, when like someone pisses you off so bad, you like ball your fists. I was like, I could genuinely like flip shit. I was so angry because you can't like tell a dog, it doesn't listen, it doesn't speak. You can't, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, in real life, this is how escalation goes. You say to someone firmly, don't do that anymore. If they still keep doing it, you can shove them a bit, maybe. Shove them off if they keep grabbing at you. If it gets physical, maybe you can even get in a fight. And in the worst instance, you can phone the police. This is not what you could do with a dog. With a dog, you can tell it firmly, right? Doesn't listen. All right, you push it off. If it doesn't understand what the push means, you can't punch it and you can't phone the police. You can't call the police on a dog humping you. So I didn't know what to do.
Oh, that's ace.
I hate that. I don't hate that dog.
love Bruno.
He's better now. He's older now. This was all about a year ago. He's now 3, and he's really grown into himself. He's becoming a much more mature young man.
I like Bruno so much.
No, because when he humps you, you're not going to be happy. If you meet him, he'll hump you.
Hey, here's a big discussion I got into.
Yeah.
Big one. Right? Best app.
Angry Birds.
It's not.
It is.
It's not at all.
It is. It invented app gaming. It was the first game on iPhone, and that's a fact, and you can Google it.
I'm going to tell you the
Everyone
best
should Google
apps, and this is a fact.
Yeah.
Notes, photos, and an unexpected third app. That hurts to do. And an unexpected third app, settings. And if you really think about it, settings is the best app.
Why?
Settings is the app to control all of the apps. Have you ever been in a dentist waiting room just like scrubbed general for ages? Just gone in general. Chad, do you know in settings you can inverse all the colours? Chad, do you know in settings you can change the font sizes to whatever you want? You can set it so your phone automatically when it gets to 10 p.m. goes into a warmer hue and then turns off that warmer hue at 7 a.m. In settings you can turn on and off notifications about anything you want. In settings you can sign out of your iCloud and into a different iCloud account that has different photos synced to it, so it controls photos. Okay, in settings, Angry Birds, you know what you do in Angry Birds, Jack? In settings, if you don't have enough storage in settings, you won't be able to get Angry Birds, so you can clear storage. You can go in info and it tells you everything about your phone, and there's documents and documents and documents just about your phone. In settings, you can genuinely, Jack, you can do anything you want. You're a god in settings. You are the god of your phone in settings. In Angry Birds, you are constrained
You're
to the...
literally God. You're pulling the... Literally.
In Angry Birds, you are constrained to the rules of the birds. In settings, Jack, if I want to make Angry Birds a black and white noir film, just like that I can in settings.
I'm the one who pulls the catapult when they go... Right? I make that happen. I make that...
Yeah, whatever,
That's the
Jack.
two sounds.
You get one thing you can do. You can pull birds.
And you can... No, and you
Great,
can...
which you can't even really do in real life,
And you can pay
can you?
99p and call him the Mighty Eagle.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the... No.
That was just skip level, by the way. You just always won with 3 stars.
The reason settings beats Angry Birds any day, because in settings, you can do anything. And I haven't even got to the bottom of settings yet. You can go into privacy. You can reset your password. You can reset your Face ID and do the scan. If you're on an older phone, do you remember doing the Touch ID? And it wants to know, it literally wants to know the edges of your thumbs. How mad is that? You can do anything you want in settings. And I'm telling you that settings is in the top 3 apps.
I actually see your point. I think camera beats
fuck the Google app.
Camera's number 1.
Safari is better than Google. I hate people that are
I
on
use
the Google
Chrome.
app. Oh, fucking idiot.
So I can send the Chrome tabs to my computer.
Yeah, don't love that. Safari. You got to use Safari. It's robust and built for the iPhone.
You know what? That is one thing, though. Certain web pages only work in Safari.
Yeah, because Safari's great. The camera app is good, but it's not as good as
That's the
Notes or
best app.
Photos.
No.
The
What?
camera app is like
Camera's the best.
No, it's not. Camera app's like a disposable camera without photos. The Photos app, you need photos to look at the pictures you've taken. I would rather have photos over camera
don't.
any day. Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
You can plug your iPhone into your computer and look at all the pictures later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and what do you look at them on? Photos!
Yeah, if you've got a MacBook.
Yes, which I do.
No, I'm going to use my Windows desktop PC.
Yeah, and you have to have the iTunes thing. Yes, you do.
You need the iTunes app, that's true.
Exactly.
That's not photos.
All right.
And
And I'm
also-
telling you... Oh, yeah, go on.
The camera app is the best app.
It's not
Like-
better than settings.
Yeah.
No, guess what? You control the camera
Right,
in, idiot.
no.
Settings.
Yeah,
it's all in settings. It's all in settings, and it always has been, and it always will be.
Yeah, but
It always
Tom,
will be.
What about this?
What?
If there were no other apps, settings would be pointless.
No, it wouldn't. You can look through the info. You can play around with the font size, and then
Oh,
it
yeah,
changes the font size
And
of
why
settings.
would you care? Because there'd be nothing else to do with the phone. Settings
Yes,
only
they
works
would.
'cause
Play with settings.
that. I actually think there's something different about you.
When I have sat in dentist waiting rooms, whenever I'm bored in a dentist waiting room, I always pull up settings.
Photos
On a
is way
plane,
better.
I'm playing on settings.
Let me argue about camera for a second.
The accessibility bit.
Let me talk about camera. Camera is the best app, right?
Camera's not the best app. Settings all the way.
Literally, think about all
Ow, that hurt my
think
hand.
about all the years that people had to carry around different types of cameras, and not many people can have cameras. You have to pay to get your pictures developed and all this. Now, our
You
hands.
have a camera in your glasses, you idiot.
Literally, shut up a second. For 1 second of your actually stupid life. listen to me, right? You can take pictures, you take videos, memories, and the moments of your life. How will you experience the life you've forgotten when you're 80 and dementia riddled? You will look at the pictures you took with the camera on your phone. You will look through your Apple iCloud pictures, and you will learn of your life that way.
Will you open those with, Jack? Photos.
But photos is only subservient to camera.
And guess what, Jack? Oh, great. You've got all these photos now. You're 80 years old. How are you going to sync them to the cloud? It's not through the cameras app, is it? It's through the settings app, Jack. Settings.
That's not true at all.
Yes, it is. You access iCloud through settings. Okay.
Yeah, but
I bet you're going to be. I bet one day, Jack, you're going to be on your phone. You're going to be 80 years old. What? You're still on iOS Sierra from 2026, even though it's 2080. You probably want to update your iOS, don't you? Oh, but you can't do it, Jack, can you? Because in your madness, you sacrifice the settings for a life of fragility and vanity and nothing. Settings is the core of the phone. Settings is everything.
I'm going to say it. Take away my settings and give me my camera every day.
No.
What would you do if your phone didn't have a camera?
If you said
what
this,
would you do if your phone didn't have a camera?
Change the font size and play on settings.
But like when you need a picture,
I'll get a camera. I got a little digital camera.
And how would you carry that around?
In my pocket. With my hands.
Your phone that only has settings is in there.
Yeah, and I'll get to play on it. I can't play on a camera. All I can do is take photos.
Yeah, and then look back at the pictures. Experiment with angles and photography and cinematography. God, there's so much. You ever heard of a photographer, Tom?
Yeah,
they do that for a job.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because I can't think of anything else to do. Not me. I do settings as a job. My job is, what about accountants? Settings of numbers. What about English writers?
Are you stupid?
Settings of words. Okay? It's all settings at the end of the day. I'm telling you, mate. If it was 10 years ago and you were dying on this hill, you'd have an iPhone 5C and still be using that crap camera on the iPhone 5C. Okay?
What are you talking
because
about?
you wouldn't have updated your iOS. You would still be trapped in the past. If it was in the 60s...
It's not the iOS version that made the camera better. It was
Jack,
the physical
if
camera.
If it was in the 60s and you were on team camera over team settings, okay?
What the fuck had settings in the 60s?
If you were on that, Jack...
No one had heard of settings in the 60s.
Yes, I have.
What had settings? The
what
toaster.
did the sun do? Settings. Idiot. Of course they did. All right, you literally, Jack, if you were on this side, you would be sat still on a 60s black and white camera. Meanwhile, I am on the latest iOS update and I am playing. And I'm looking in the info and I'm changing the accessibility and I'm changing the touch, I'm changing the privacy settings, Jack, because all your photos will be to everyone and they won't be synced. And you'll be 80 years old and you'll have no photos because you didn't sync them on your iCloud via the settings.
Shut up.
How's the worm doing?
No, we're not there yet.
Yes, we are. We're
No,
an
you
hour.
spilled water all over yourself and it wasted 10 minutes.
It didn't waste 10 minutes. It wasted 3 or 4 minutes. 5 minutes.
All right,
5.
you've got time. Anyway, I've got more topics because you bang on about fucking settings for 10 minutes. They had to test my poo the other day. We hadn't spoken about poo this episode. I need
thank
to work
God
it
that's
in.
making the main.
Yeah.
Working out.
They had to test my poo. I had to. Have you ever
had
had
to
that
poo in a
done?
jar.
No, you have to put you poo in the toilet, and then they give you a tube with a little spoon. You have to spoon out a bit of your poo.
Were you sat over... Hang on. Let me just set the record straight. May I? You did a poo and then got on all fours afterwards, presumably not after wiping,
why
so
would
you
I get
could...
on all fours?
Sorry.
Why would I not wipe? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, how would you access the poo? It would be under layers of toilet
that's a good
paper.
point. I actually hadn't wiped.
And you sat there with a pooey bum crouched over your toilet, spooning poo into a jar.
No.
How did you do it then?
So-
Explain how you did it more elegantly than
So
that.
I first took
Oh,
toilet.
but at least you can use your camera to take a picture of it.
yeah, show you. It's great.
Did you really?
No, I didn't take a picture of my poo. I've done that before though. Sometimes you take a big one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
impressive. So I got toilet paper and I made a barrier to protect. So the poo would fall on paper and not the water because it's not supposed to touch the water for some reason if you're giving it in for a sample. So I made a barrier, right? And then after the first deposit, I couldn't wait until there was more. I took the little thing and you're supposed to it said take a walnut-sized sample. I don't eat many walnuts, so I didn't know how big that was. But I was quite constipated that day, so I only dropped in a little nugget, and I thought that's probably the right size.
Oh, Jack,
so I scooped up
too much.
I scooped up my little nugget with the spoon, and I put it in the jar.
And how did it come
And
back?
then you have to seal it in a bag.
Oh yeah, did you send it off?
Oh, you take it to the doctors yourself.
What did they say?
Just took it in the bag myself. On the way to therapy, I dropped by the doctor's with it. I literally in my coat pocket.
This morning.
No, the other day. In last week then. Last week. Therapy's today, isn't it? So last week. I put
You
my
had a little bag of
I sealed
poo.
my well no, it's a bag, a jar in a bag. It's very protective.
Did
from
you get
the elements.
recognised?
No, so I put in my coat pocket my bag of my poo that I'd laid just maybe half an hour prior, and then I dropped it off at the doctor's and went, "This is my poo. There you go."
And how did it come back?
It doesn't come back to me. I don't get the poo back. Why on earth would I get the poo back?
No, but you know the results of it.
Yeah, it came back not so good. Actually, was the results. It's supposed to. They're testing. I tell you what they're testing for. Actually,
What did they say in the email?
I've also got a lot of my medical. I'll probably know what it is by the time this comes out. So
What did they say in the email?
it's not an email. It's on the NHS app. I only checked. I checked out of my own curiosity. I wish I hadn't. It kept me up all night thinking. I'll be honest, I'm a bit. I don't like to admit this, but I am a bit of a hypochondriac. So I thought I was probably going to have bum cancer. I don't think I really have bum cancer. I was just scared, guys.
It's all right.
But in my
I still support
here we
you.
go. So you're supposed. It's called fecal calprotectin content, and essentially it tells you how irritated your bowels are. This can pointing out things like Crohn's or celiac disease and all that shit. You're supposed to be within the range of 0 to 50. I was 170, but the cap is 600. 170
Okay.
falls in the just below severe. It's still in the moderate range. It's in that range. It's in that range where it's like it could just be like a little bit of something, but it's definitely irritated. Which I
I'm
could.
sorry.
Not trying to be funny. I could have told him that.
I'm sorry.
On account of all those bad shits I was doing, I could have told him I had irritated bowels. So that's why I had to have blood tests. And then my blood test was shit because the lady, she went, "All right, do it." And she was, "Are you queasy around?" Everyone kept saying to me, "Are you okay with blood tests?" This made me nervous about the blood test because
Never
why
had
is everyone
one?
asking me if I've had one in my life ever?
Oh, wow.
And I remember feeling a little bit wigged out. I was like, "Oh, that is my blood just going into a tube."
Yeah,
so I was a bit
it's
like,
a bit. Yeah.
So this time I thought I've got to drive afterwards. I'm not going to look. So I didn't look, not looking. And it hurt a bit. Put it
Yeah,
in, I
it
was
does,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
this one actually it like burns a touch." Like that's the sort of sensation I had. I was like, "Oh, don't like that." And she went, "Oh, I've done it wrong. Oh, I've got to take that out and do the other arm." And then she puts a fucking needle in, and it hurts the whole time. Like it's not comfortable the whole time.
No, it's not.
And she fucking puts it in and then goes to put the tube in, drops the fucking tube just to go get a new tube. So I've got this thing in my arm for 8. Honestly, this lady was like, "Oh, it's one of them days. It's one of those days where you got needles in my arms. Get them out of my arms." Like, fumbled with the fucking thing for ages.
okay.
And then dropped the cotton bud when she was trying to wipe it. I was wearing a white shirt when I went. I'm like, best not get blood on my white shirt.
Hey, do you remember at school when you'd have the shots day and everyone would
Yeah.
go get needles in their arm and suddenly you'd see all the cool kids that were scared of needles and you'd be like, you have flaws.
I can't say I really.
All right.
We got called in sort of one at a time, so you didn't really get to see who
I
was
remember I
scared.
get to see tears in their eyes. I was like, you may be cooler than me, but I don't cry at needles. You fucking losers.
Yeah. No, I remember that day.
Made me feel big.
They like one day when you're like 15, they just vaccinate you for everything.
Yeah, they do.
You get like this mega jab that just covers everything you might ever get.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, speaking of taking photos of your poo, one time when I was much younger and I just got Snapchat, I was really excited that I had a camera on my phone now. And so I did
your phone didn't have a camera app prior to Snapchat.
I know where to post my photos.
Ah.
Yeah. So what I did was I was in the park with my mate, so I did a lovely video of me weeing, and I was so proud of it. And then I showed my mum. I was like, "Look," and she was like, "Don't do that again." And I was like, "All right."
Oh, did you film your?
No, just like a POV. I'm having a wee.
So you didn't film your little.
No, but my
dingling,
mum was very stressed that I was filming.
You might.
That I just thought it was a bit funny, so I'd film my willy and put it on my story.
Have you ever
Not
seen
in
the
a
Instagram?
not malicious way. I was 12 years old. I did or 13.
Have you
I
seen
had
the
no-
Instagram page Scenic Pisses?
I actually don't even know if I had sexual bones in my body at that point. I was 13 years old. I'm just saying there were no ill intentions.
Let's just move on. Have
Except
you ever-
one time I actually can remember the first time.
Please don't tell us about it.
I was reading a Spider-Man
No,
comic
please
and he was
stop.
getting with Mary Jane. And I was like, everything feels weird. Things are changing in me.
You thought you were getting spider sense,
I did, but specifically in my crotch.
right?
I was overwhelmed with joy.
Have you ever heard of the Instagram page
He
Scenic
saved
Pisses?
her, Jack. He saved her.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so heroic.
Please answer my fucking question.
Yeah?
Scenic Pisses. Have you heard of this Instagram page?
Yeah.
Could have posted it there. I took a scenic piss once.
It wasn't scenic. It was in a bush.
No, I did it. Remember, we went on that walk. And
Oh, yeah.
those really foggy hills, and I took a piss off of one and filmed it so I could send it to that Instagram page. But then I got nervous and didn't.
Right, we're 10 minutes over. They're getting extra content for free when it should be behind a paywall. This is bullshit.
Hey, but at the end of the day, the paywall's pretty good value because for £5 a month or $7, as we often say, you can get 100 extra bonus episodes of the podcast as well as Jacktivities and Tom Talks, and join the great community of people who make us stuff like this. Or what is Dan a Patreon?
Ooh!
Yeah, great.
They are vibrant worms today. And
It's-
they're moving.
Mirren said it's because she kept them
They're
in the
moving
fridge.
there. Yeah. Look.
Mirren has kept the
Oh,
worms in
pardon me.
her fridge. Apparently, this is good for them, and now they move. And there's lots of them, and they do seem
Tons of worms.
seem
the miniature worms
more
will.
active than usual.
Oh, that's great.
They're all at the bottom. There is like absolutely loads of the fuckers.
But what if one day they wiggle into one of the
And they
waters and we
seem well.
drink it?
So here's a fun tip from the Shut Up I'm Talking podcast: refrigerate your worms.
Did you hear about these tapeworms?
Guys, we're going to go over to the Patreon now. It has been a great episode. We'll see you over on the Patreon. This week on Patreon, I watched Twilight for the first time. Tom's never watched it, and we were going to discuss some breakdowns of my thoughts. What's wrong? And I go, I think I found a lump on my testicle just here. And she just kept touching my testicle, going, "That is your testicle." And I kept going, and they're all holding hands with their siblings because they're all dating. But then this one guy shows up, Edward. He doesn't have a sibling to date, right? And he
That's
looks.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, that's Robert Pattinson. He looks.
And he's gorgeous.
He's a good looking chap, right? And
What out of 10 would you give?
Tom, it's been a bad week.
Oh, Jack, don't
I'm
say
opening
that.
with a bad. Tom, I felt like a perv this week.
No, what did you do?
A perv. Well, I'll get into that in a minute.
You felt like a perv.
I felt like a perv.
Well, I did.
But quickly, before you cut me off, right, I need to specify that I was not a perv. What I did was not
No, those
perverse or
beady little
perverted in
eyes,
any way.
Those skinny little fingers.
But it made me feel internally like maybe I was a pervert.
Okay. Well, I did something romantic, deeply romantic, with Harry. We went dancing. It was amazing.
Shut up, I'm talking.
Shut up. Shut up.
But first, everyone, this video is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Using our discount code TOMJACK or the QR code on screen, you can get 50% off your first box, as well as 20% off the next 4 boxes, and free treats like fruits and juices for the next 2 months.
Thank you, and more on that later.
I'm talking. Shut up.
Hello,
That
everybody.
was like a marvel.
I did the.
Shut up! I'm talking.
It was like Limp Bizkit, you know?
The Iron Man is chest blast. I've
Yeah.
done his chest blast.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Episode 91 of Shut Up, I'm Talking.
How you doing?
Hey, episodes every Sunday.
Jesus, because you have to shut up now, Jack. because that's too good of a deal that you actually need to bloody subscribe and follow or whatever you're on. Do the one that we like on whatever platform you're on.
We're really making efforts to grow at the moment. Can you tell?
We are really, guys. Tell every friend about this, and then tell them to tell a family or friend.
Yeah, a social media post would be nice.
Push us. Push this.
If you could really, at the end of the day, this is our retirement plan.
Do you know Sisyphus going up the hill with a rock? Imagine that, but it's all of our fans and it's a rock, but it isn't a never-ending hill. It's a bank, and it gets there, and it gets us to it.
Yeah, you're pushing us. We're the rock.
With a rock.
Notice that we're doing no work ourselves. Anyway, no,
We're
we
a
are
rock,
because we
but
asked you to
we
subscribe.
talk
didn't we?
with the. Yeah.
Anyway, Tom, we kick this podcast off every week with the same thing, and we're going to stick to that this week.
What is that thing again?
The worst moment of the week. We're going to talk about our worst moment of the week. Do you want to go first, or should I? Because I'll be honest, it is the pervert story. Obviously, it's the pervert story.
I'll go first then. I feel like you know.
All right. People can wait for the pervert story.
Do you know what I mean? If we give them what they want too quick,
They'll leave.
they'll immediately. Why on earth would they stay? And mine is not perverse at all.
That's good. I would hope. If we both had perverse
Actually, in a way, it
moments-
was a bit pervy, but in a very different, not in a sexual way, but in a demeanour and manner.
What?
This happened today. I got up. I got up.
We're recording late today. Usually we record like first thing in the morning. It's 4 p.m.
Yeah.
5
It's
p.m.
been a
We've
long
never
day.
recorded
I
this
got
late.
up. I got up, Jacket, today. What time do you think I got up? You know, because I already told you. Because
You woke up at 7 a.m.
Upon arriving, I bragged to everyone. I
Yeah.
woke up at 7:30, but I snoozed twice, pretty much 8 a.m. I woke up at 7:30 a.m., round it down 7 a.m. Woke up at 7 a.m. I got up today, and I thought, no way am I getting up at 7 a.m. I got out of bed, Jack, because call me the capital D, because I'm fucking disciplined. My thing fell. I got up immediately, sat out, writing bloody generational comedy that will change the world. Did that for a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
It's not ready yet. Wait. Like Cat Williams, I relaces politics in with his comedy. I don't do that, but and then
Just laughing yourself to Cat Williams. If I was to pick one comedian who was the furthest from Tom Simons, I'd pick Cat Williams.
you know how he laces his politics in with his comedy. I don't, but I like. I just felt like I could though once I learn how.
You just compared yourself to Cat Williams.
Once I learn how, I can do that. Also, I need to learn about politics. Apparently, it's all really bad at the minute. So it doesn't really flow with my humour. I'm very positive. Okay. So anyway, beautiful day. I hit the ground running, quite literally, Jack. I go on a run.
Yeah.
Go on a run. Do the longest run I've done. I run to the Hove Lagoon. By the way,
There's a lagoon.
you might not know what the Hove Lagoon is. Next to the sea, there's a small gap of sheds, and then there's a lagoon, which is and it is a large body of water next to the greatest body of water known to man. Hove thought, let's make our own little one to compete. It's the Hove Lagoon. It's fine. They do water sports on it. I saw.
Oh,
a
I do know
guy-
the Hove
Yeah, of
Lagoon.
course
It's
you know
on my
the
way to
Hove
the
Lagoon.
gym.
Yeah. It's far away.
It's a
You'll
bit of a
know.
way.
And I ran that way.
Actually,
I ran
It's
from
not
there.
that far.
It is actually. I ran that far, and then I ran pretty much to the pier. I ran about a quarter of the way to the pier. So I did a huge
a quarter of the way.
Yeah, from the big pole. Anyway, this is going to alienate a lot of viewers who don't live exactly where we live. But I
It sounds like you ran as far as you made out.
I did. It was 8 kilometers. 8.9 or 7.9 actually. It was 7.9 kilometers.
Okay.
7.89 by round up.
So it's just a little bit more than a 5K.
3 kilometers more than a 5K, Jack, which is essentially another half. It was above half of a 5K. It was a 5.5.
I was going to start telling everyone he ran a 10K now.
But it was closer to a 10K than a 5K.
That's true. That is
and that is
facts.
far.
Yeah, all right.
That is not short.
How long did you do it in?
An hour.
All right.
A good hour. With no music.
When you say a good hour, that makes it sound like it was longer than an hour.
It wasn't a bad hour. It was good. I was running. Endorphins kicked in after 10 minutes, my book
the
told
runner's
me.
high.
No, my book told me endorphins kicked in after 10 minutes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. But the book I'm reading is Blue Sisters. It's nothing to do. They just had a bit on the run. Anyway, you distracted me. I get home. I think, you know what I'm going to do for ages that I've wanted to do? Go make a smoothie. I want to make a smoothie for so long.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a fucking food processor now, not a blender.
I go to the co-op. No. Nay. Because I've already Amazoned a new blender this week.
okay.
And it's sat outside my house for ages. So I get my new blender in, pop by co-op, I buy kale, ginger, and I've already got apples at home. It says online you need coconut water. I go, no, I use normal water. I get home. I've got my new blender. This is now my third blender. My first blender, my mum got me when I moved out when I was 17, and Erin used it, and I had lost some of the bits. My second blender is not good. It was just giving me chunky lumps.
It was a food processor. That was why.
Yeah, my third blender. I'm excited about my third blender. I pour all the things in, chop up the apple, I get all the kale in. Finally, turn it on. It does not work.
What?
I shake it hard. I don't know what to do. I don't Google. I shake it. It does not work either. I shake all of it over my head like that, like one of the Tuscan Raiders.
Actually, like a Tuscan
right?
Raider.
I shake it, turn it on. It still doesn't work. I go, okay. I have a genius idea. I find the old blender, the first blender, Erin's blender that was mine. Find it, find all the bits. Takes me ages. I pour it all into there. It finally works. Then I pour it to drink my kale, apple, and ginger smoothie. Very heavy on the kale. I now find out it is essentially kale, but it hasn't really. I think blend is a very generous term because I would say it was just small bits of kale in chunks. So I start chewing my smoothie. And I'm thinking, this is one of the worst things I've ever put in my body. This can't be worth it for the greens. And then I have this genius idea. I look at this lump of like green sort of sludge. This is the bit where I felt perverse when I created this monster of sludge.
Right, that was the first bit, was it?
And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is completely miserable. It's 10 a.m. I'm a 22-year-old man in the peak of my youth, and I'm stood here with a green lump of fucking misery. Have a genius idea. I don't want to swallow all my smoothie and chew it. I pour it through a sieve. Put all the smoothie in a sieve.
Just reblend it.
No, I've been blending it I've been blending it so long that the blender has made a burning sound, and the blender's gone so warm that then the smoothie is lukewarm. It is bordering on hot. It is a hot kale smoothie, and it makes me gag. So what I do is I pour it all into the sieve. But if, as any good chef knows, you need to get all the water out. So I punch it in the sieve. Punch in the sieve. Or it's going everywhere. My whole kitchen's green. But I'm wailing down on the sieve, wailing down. I'm shouting. I'm a mess of sweat because I've just been on this run. I'm sweating, punching the sieve. Finally, it all comes down. I have what I would describe as about a shot now from this whole mass of green smoothie. And I down it, and it's not nice. So that's how I got in my 5 a day today.
That's
and that,
miserable.
I would say, I don't know where.
I don't know how you got it so wrong.
I don't know where the worst moment is, but it's somewhere in there.
That's dreadful.
I know at some point in there a worst moment happened, but I couldn't tell you the moment it was. But that was bad.
That is rough.
It was very rough.
Chewing on kale chunks does sound
And
miserable.
then obviously I'm sweaty after my shot, wiping up on kitchen roll all of the green that's gone everywhere. And I still haven't done my dishes. It was such an abomination of a sight. I just was like, I'll do this later.
It's 5 p.m.
I know. Later kept getting later. And now it's now.
Well, that's bad. I wouldn't say it's as perverse as my moment, but it is bad. In fact, I don't think it was perverse at all. Mine, and again, I want to stress, I wasn't being a pervert, but I think I came off that way. I'll just anyway. So I went to the O2 Arena to see Rosalia. Get into that in a bit.
I'm so sorry. I kept thinking it said Rosalina, as in like Rosalia, because you'll notice Rosalina is awesome, and I kept thinking the girl
no, not from
Mario
Mario, just
Galaxy
from Spain, I think. Catalonia. I don't know.
You change
somewhere.
one word, it's space, and then it's still Rosalina.
But
Sorry,
anyway,
continue.
went to see Rosalia at the O2, having a great time, loving it, right? But I'm thinking, I got basically, not to brag, but I got the gig for free, right? And I was
always getting everything for free.
I don't pay
you
for
are actually a
nothing.
freeloader.
I'm a freeloader maximum. I don't pay nothing. But anyway,
spent a tenner on
I'm going to a
kale
free
today.
gig tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yeah. I love free gigs. But anyway,
Jack.
I'm going to. I go to Rosalia for free.
Why are you working if you get everything for free?
I don't know. That's what I've been thinking to myself. But anyway, I went to this.
Why on earth are we doing this then?
I don't know. But I went free. But I'm thinking, because it was free and I didn't pay for it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave before the concert ends, because the dash getting home from the O2 is so
hard, isn't it?
shit. I was like, I don't really know Rosalia's music. It was just offered to me, and I was like, I'll give it a go. Really enjoyed it, but I was like, I'm gonna leave before like the last song, so I can just get home.
I did that with
ease.
Olivia Dean.
Yeah, fucking hell, that's not right.
I only heard Man Eye. Don't even know what the last bit was.
But
Couldn't be the Man Eye. What?
Such a shit joke.
I don't know. She never
But,
got to it.
um,
Just out.
Anyway, I go to leave, and I thought, oh, before I go, I'm going to nip to the loo for a piss. I go in to piss, and like I'm thinking about like, oh, do I go? I can sort of hear the song. I'm like, oh, this does sound quite good, and I'm like doing that. But what I realise I'm doing is I'm staring into the distance while I'm thinking. But what I realise is I'm not staring into the distance. I'm staring at bloke, who is also probably got his penis out peeing in the urinal, and I'm just staring at him. And I didn't mean to. I'm not like looking at his junk or nothing. I'm just looking at the dude, and he's looking at me like he's disgusted by me, right? Probably on account of I'm staring at him while his penis is out. But again, I want to stress that I wasn't like actually staring at him. I was just staring out into space, and then he stepped into the space.
Sure.
But anyway, so I'm doing that, and the whole time he's like looking at me a little weird. But it's like a familiar look. It's like a look that I know, but I can't place, right? And then I start thinking about it, I'm like, that's the sort of look that I give people when I'm like trying to work out whether they're like recognizing me or not. This fella like is looking at me like like he's a bit, you know, that sort of like slightly on edge. Like, do I have to like, you know, he's giving me that look. I'm like, that's weird. And then I go outside, and he walks over to this woman and he gives her a little kiss. The woman was Dua Lipa. What I did is I stared at Dua Lipa's boyfriend while he pissed. For longer than I should have, without again, I really want to stress, not knowingly. It wasn't until I realised I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh, that guy's looking at me. Why is he looking at me? Oh, because I'm staring at him. Like I did that.
Wow.
So anyway, but you know,
That is perverse.
it was bad. But I thought in the moment, like, oh, at least I know that I never have to run into this man again, and I probably won't. But now, if you know, he
Can't
has
have Dua Lipa on.
well, if I just know every time that.
But she ruined that Elton John song.
Did she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not weighing in
I
on
think
this.
He did the right thing.
And also he's famous too. He's an actor, I
I
think.
don't even know about
I
him.
don't know him, but he's an actor of some description. And also what I realised is they were leaving at the same time. So now I've got to walk to the lifts with Dua Lipa and her boyfriend who I've just stared at while he pissed a bit.
Were you in the same box as Dua Lipa?
I don't really know. I didn't see her there.
Were you in a box?
I was in a box, but
So
I went
why are you always in the box?
because I don't know, man. People think I've got motion, I think.
No, they don't. You think
They-
you've got motion.
No, they think I've got motion. That's why they invite me.
Who invited you to this? Was it a brand or was it actually a car dealership promo?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I can't explain that. So usually it's a brand, Tom. Go on. It's the one time it wasn't a brand. Well, it was a
Oh,
brand,
it
but
was a
because
brand.
because
But it had nothing to do with being a creator, did it?
yeah, no, this
You were on a promotional scheme.
this was a promotional scheme. Usually it's because I'm a creator, though. Usually it's for cool reasons, but this time it was because I bought a product.
What Dua did? Have you not heard it? And I think it's gonna be a long, long time, and it's like that.
That's Rocket Man.
It's not Rocket Man. It's the Dua Lipa version where she added some drum and bass on
Yeah,
it.
but she did Don't Stop Now. Great song. I love Don't
I
Stop
don't
Now.
even know it. I can stop now. Thank you very much, Dua.
Don't be rude to Dua Lipa. Also, and I'm sorry for staring at that guy. I didn't mean to.
Her boyfriend's
I didn't
Billy.
even know. I was staring up. I was looking at his face. He was quite tall.
Oh, I bet you had a pee.
No, I didn't. Of course not. What? Flipping perv? No. Obviously, I didn't have a look. But and luckily, thank God, he's very tall, so he knows that I was looking up at least. He could see in my eye line. But it's still a bit. I admit it was not my finest work. And I just wanted to say to Dua Lipa and co, I apologise, and please still come on our podcast if you ever want to.
I'm sorry too, Dua. I think I went a bit hard on you on Elton's track there. That might have been a bit
Don't
harsh.
Stop Now is great.
Apparently, you've done a good track.
That's ruined that opportunity, Tom. Well done. Right, should we get on with this? The rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, my next one was talking about Rosalia, wasn't it? Rosalia's great.
And who is this?
She is a Spanish speaking musician.
You had me at she. Support all girls.
Terrible. This guy hates periods, by the way, and he's 6'5". But she was great. It was she's like a Spanish speaking musician. She's I learned she's classically trained in opera, but then like blends it with like modern like pop stuff. I don't know, it was good. She came out in like ballet shoes, and you know how like ballerinas like walk on their tiptoes. She's doing that around the stage singing. Mad, how do you walk on your tiptoes?
Linkin X.
Just walking around. It was crazy. It was like,
I can do that.
and you know what? The camera work was really good. No one goes to a gig and thinks about the camera work, but it was great.
Really?
They had really, really good camera work, and there was like a weird theatrical theme, and then Cara Delevingne came out and did a confession like it was a Catholic church. They got in a booth together and
Sounds
she did a
excellent.
confession. It was great. So shout out Rosalia. If you're a fan of Rosalia, you were right.
Well done, Rosalia.
Why did you go dancing with Harry?
Right. As you know, at the moment, the Brighton Festival is on.
The Brighton Fringe. Yes, I've not been.
Of course,
Ever.
it's the
In the
festival.
4
They
years
have
I've lived here.
the tent. Oh my god! Have you not been to the tents and had a pint?
I've never been to Spiegel Tent, not once.
Oh my god! They have these like big tents that become like little mini cities, and they're amazing.
Never been.
I've been to those 2 tents. They were beautiful. I was out with a couple friends, and we'd gone to do barn dancing. I didn't know what this was, but I get there, and there is going to a big tent full of different adults. You have to pay 15 quid entry, scan a QR code. It's difficult to get there. You can't immediately Apple Pay. You have to input a lot of details. But then finally you get in. They could do with streamlining that process, was one of my thoughts.
Just something to weigh in on.
Yeah, can the Spiegel tent. Anyway, you get in. Then there is a band, and they are kind of leading you, teaching you different dances, and then you dance with all the strangers. There's about 100 people in there. 100 people. And you dance with all of them. One of the dancers, the last dance is literally Snake IO.
What?
Everyone grabs someone's hand, and you stand in a 100-man circle, and then the guy jumps off the stage, he grabs one person's hand, and he takes you in a big snake, like in Snake IO. You know Snake IO?
Slither IO, but yeah.
Slither, that was the one. Yeah, or Snake, the Nokia game. Anyway, he takes you all the way around, and then sometimes you go really quick because you can't let go. I was holding this older lady, and I was bloody getting pulled, and so I was standing to fly in, but we all had to keep holding hands. So you go around, you're dancing, you do lots of different dances where you're you do one where you have to be a seagull and go baka, baka, baka. You do one that was the silliest one, but you do one where
What have you signed up? You paid 15 quid to sort
have
of
to-
like
I did
have
it for
someone tell you
hours.
to dance around like a muppet.
and you do one where you have to do this, and you know Back to the Future 3. It's like that sort of.
It's been a minute.
But the one that they do with the dot where they're doing the dancing, it's like the. No, it's not a trumpet. It's like I can't really do a violin impression.
Okay.
No, still can't.
Sure.
Like
It's
that
old
sort
timey
of-
stuff.
Yeah, very,
Makes me
very
so
old timey.
sad.
I'm glad that you got that out